Welcome back. I'm gonna put this video out on multiple places, probably Facebook, Gab, YouTube, because it's a hot topic. I get a message from somebody that I know this morning, and it's like, "Hey, check this article out." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, what could it possibly be?" Now, we all are aware of the current political atmosphere, the recent election in Virginia. The candidates for governor in Virginia taking two opposite sides of the role of education. Parents have no say whatsoever in the education of their children. The other one saying parents have a role in the education of their children. The media and those on, and I can only use terms that we will all understand, the left are stunned by this and don't understand why. Well, because education isn't the state's job, number one. Education is the parent's job. That is something we've forgotten. We've adopted a socialistic method of education where we take our children and turn them over to the state to educate. And then we act, shocked and surprised when the state says, we're going to teach your children to hate themselves. We're going to teach your children that they're evil. And that's exactly what the big fight in Virginia was about. And folks, this topic covers a lot of territory, and I'm going to try to restrict it to merely what's called CRT, critical race theory. It's evil, it's vile, it's an abuse of children to teach them that either one, they're filled with hate and bigotry, or two, they're being held back by their fellow human beings in some form or shape, creating continual victimhood. Frankly, the whole thing angers me to no end. I see it in my career field continually. They give out grants and loans to women and quote unquote minorities, whereas everything I got, I had to fight for. I had to stay up late at night and teach myself and learn things. But hey, they get free handouts. But I have to fight to get everything that I've ever had. Anyway, so come to Maryland with me. This is from Fox News, and it was published merely an hour ago. Maryland's most populous county told students there is a double pandemic of COVID and racism. Montgomery County. Let's look at this real quick. According to new documents received by Judicial Watch and exclusively provided to Fox News, Montgomery County launched a psychoeducational lesson. Fancy words there. Anytime you see language like this, alarm bells ought to be going off in your head. If you can't use simple terms, then you're failing in your job as an educator or a teacher. Anyway, there is a dual pandemic involving COVID-19 and, quote, systemic racism. Materials recommended that teachers buy the Ibram X. Kendi book, Anti-Racist Baby, as the quote-unquote perfect gift for ages baby to age 3. Folks, these people will not stop until they can corrupt the youngest of the young. And this is true in this realm, the mental, physical, or mental and spiritual realm, as well as it's true in the physical realm with passing this ridiculous and vile thing saying that children as young as 5 should be vaccinated against COVID-19. When statistically speaking, there is no risk to children from COVID-19. Statistically speaking. Anyway, of course, this CRT or critical race theory is just nothing but communistic socialism under a different title, which pushed the Virginia Republican candidate, Glenn Youngkin, into the win in Virginia. It's in Maryland. It's here. It's in every state, folks. The fact of the matter is our schools are indoctrination systems. That's it. Always have been, always will be. Go back and read John Dewey, the founder of the American education system. He knew then That was the whole purpose of the public education system, was to take children away from their parents and indoctrinate them into the ways of the state. And that's all this is, just a continuation of it. So here they are pushing it. You can see a lovely sign right here, Black Lives Matter, another communistic group, self-proclaimed by its very founders. Um, and hey, it's right here. It's in Montgomery County. Let's go take a look at this email that they got from the Associate Superintendent, Janice S. Wilson, right here. Went out to the principal's mail list and spec alt, and of course CC to numerous others. And this is now available. It's out there. We have restricting access to non-custodial parents. All kinds of fun stuff in here. Psychoeducational lessons and student well-being teams. You know, our society is failing across the board. And this is part of why it is failing across the board, because we're pushing this stuff on our kids. We're not teaching them anymore. Well, we're indoctrinating them. Instead of being able to do math, I mean, go look at the statistics. Even in my own county, a couple of years ago, they put out, I forget what the exact results were, but like 39 or 40% of students were not able to read at grade level, but yet they celebrated it like it was some fantastic thing. You know why? Because they're teaching them this junk. We're not teaching them to read, write, and do arithmetic anymore because that's just too simple. Oh no, they have to be taught about equity, which isn't equity or equal or anything even remotely resembling it. Equity is everybody on the same playing field, and you rise to the level that you're capable of. And we're not all capable at the same level. I can't be a rocket scientist because I don't have the mental facilities to do it, but I can recognize that. The problem is we're telling all these kids you can do anything when in reality they can't. They're restricted by their IQ. They're restricted by their health. They're restricted by what level of support they have from the home. All of these things come into play. But these communists are going to take that and use it to stir the pot, create dissension, create little activists who are going to go out and do this. It's just vile, is what it is. It's evil. And this Janet S. Wilson, hey, guess what, Allegheny County? Garrett County? Y'all know her. Because she was picked as the Garrett County School Board school administrator. Right here, Janet Wilson will take over July 1st. She's currently the chief academic officer for Allegheny County Public Schools. She was here. What did she do when she was here? Does anyone know? Your kids are in the schools. Do you know what they're teaching them in the schools? Does anyone know? I don't have any kids in the public schools. We homeschooled because we recognize this kind of thing is going on, and we took the burden on ourselves. Hey, guess what? Out of two hands, we paid our taxes, which support these nest of iniquity, and we also paid out of our own pocket to educate our child. And guess what? He learned a lot more than the kids in the public schools are, because he didn't learn this vile evilness, this twisting of reality. If you don't think it's here in Allegheny County and Garrett County and Washington County, you're mistaken. It is here. They may not call it CRT, but they certainly have equity programs. And yeah, she was here. Look, she was the chief academic officer. It's hard to tell what she got in play here. But this is what's going on. Let's go over to the actual Allegheny County, Maryland executive branch. We have the Board of County Commissioners. Now, this is from 2010. Let's see. She is in here. Should have found it before I started this video, shouldn't I have? So here's the Board of Ed back then. Department of Education, David A. Cox is the EDD, Superintendent of Schools Administration. James Smith was Assistant Superintendent. All right, here she is. Instruction, Janet S. Wilson, Assistant Superintendent of Schools. So guess what? You think it ain't here? It is. It's in Montgomery County, and it's been instituted by her, who was here and in Gare County. And if you don't think that this is being taught and is being used to warp and twist the view of reality that people have, I got bad news for you. It's here. That's the whole purpose the education system was set up, to do exactly this. Just thought you might like to know. Welcome to Maryland. Have a great day. We'll talk again some other time. Bye.